Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of Construction Week's Expert Interview Series, where, as you know, we speak to the top experts within the region's built environment to gain insights on the latest in construction, infrastructure, real estate, and more. Joining us today is Matthew Tribe, the Executive Director at CallisonRTKL, who will be taking us through some of the key elements of smart cities, including energy efficiency, sustainable sources of water, technology adoption, and citizen well-being. To get the show started, thank you, Matthew, for joining us here today.
It's an absolute pleasure, and thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Matthew, how is sustainability becoming a key feature for the development of smart cities? How vital will energy efficiency, sustainable sources of water, and the optimum use of waste be to such future cities?
Well, I think sustainability has always been part and parcel of well thought out creative design solutions in the built environment. The last 6 to 8 months has really magnified the need for us to use all our resources extremely wisely and driving the use of those resources in the most optimized way. And that's whether it's bricks, mortar, cement, whether it's the use of water. And we have to be very sensible as the way we consume the finite resources of the world. And so when we are looking at the built environment, we know that the contribution of the built environment to the degradation of the environment is significant. And so we have to look at the way that we use the finite resources, the way we adapt our existing building stock, and how we drive the performance of the built environment to a greater purpose. So I think from a profession, I believe that architecture and the infrastructure around the built environment can play a major role in righting some of the wrongs from the past.
And how is citizen well-being taken into consideration during this design and architecture phase of construction?
Well, you have to design with people first in mind. That it has to be paramount. I think we've seen the growth of urban destinations which are very much orientated around the car. And I think in some respects, Dubai kind of focused around the mobility in the private vehicle. We very much focus on the kind of human-centric design, focusing on the needs of the individual, needs of the citizens and the community at large to ensure that every intervention contributes to a better quality of life and ensures that where possible, we bring together a whole range of expertise to ensure that the well-being of our communities are at the forefront of every design decision. And we've seen recently that during kind of our constrained lifestyles, the ability to connect with nature and the ability to go out into open space really does enhance our quality of life. It improves our mental health, and obviously active lifestyle creates a whole holistic well-being concept which we like to pursue in our designs. And one thing that I found fascinating is the ability for our clients and the administrators and governments to really embrace this as a major stay of creating sustainable communities going into the future.
Now, for an industry that has historically lagged in the adoption of technology, how important, according to you, is artificial intelligence or machine learning, IoT, and connected buildings in order to construct and operate a sustainable smart city?
I think all these kind of pieces of it is very important. They're a conduit to collect data. And that data is there, if used wisely, to allow us to kind of respond to the needs of the individuals and the end users more appropriately. But also there's a feedback loop which allows the end user to connect with not only the building operator, the architects and designers, but also the administrators and the government. So I think smart cities and the use of technology to improve the performance of our cities, to allow us to respond to dramatic changes we've seen, or just to enhance the quality of life of the citizens is very important. So for instance, as an organization, we invest in tech startups within the built environment and have done for a number of years, whether it's looking at Internet of Things to help us improve the circulation of traffic, look at air quality, look at the management of our open spaces. How can we improve waste collection in our communities? And there's many other kind of examples. So it's not one size fits all when it comes to smart cities. Yes, we've got a lot of technology and we can apply it, but we have to understand the value that it brings back to the communities that we're investing in.
Speaking about the value that it's bringing to the communities, on one hand, we talk about construction needs to change in order to meet the needs of smart cities. But on the other hand, we also see that the demand for smart cities is revolutionizing the way we view construction, right from the design and planning stages through to construction and operation. Is this something that you agree with, that it's impacting each other?
It is. I think it's a well-referenced quote that the construction industry is the second on the bottom of the list of taking up technology advancement. And I think the one below construction industry is agriculture. Mm-hmm. So we need to advance. We face the kind of the digital transformation, and we see the ability to influence and optimize the planning, design, and execution process, whether it's through mechanization or robotics, whether it's the use of autonomous kind of construction techniques and modular construction and prefabrication, but also in the planning of the project and the design of the project. Using software platforms in our industry allows us to reduce waste. It improves timelines. And so there are many facets that technology can improve the construction industry, and you are seeing it being applied every day. And I think as a region, UAE is very much at the forerunner of that. And it's setting great challenges for the industry going forward. So we're very excited as a company, but as an industry, change is coming, and it's coming as fast as a Hyperloop train. So it's very, very exciting.
Speaking of change, we've also seen certain challenges that are being faced. Certain cities around the world have struggled to become smart, as they say, due to unclear goals, poor execution models, a latency in technology, like you mentioned, a lack of integration, maybe even a lack of collaboration between stakeholders. What, according to you, are the challenges facing the successful implementation of smart cities, like they say, in the UAE, the Middle East, and how can they be overcome?
I think the challenge with smart cities, because it's all encompassing, and you need to really drive focus, and it's on a case-by-case basis. So, for instance, when you look at cities in Europe, there's issues around air quality and congestion. So applying smart city technology in real time improves the ability to move people around the city, reflect any changes or disruptions to those systems. So again, responding to dramatic change in real time, but also is using a number of different data sets. So we know that urban environments, particularly in and maybe in the US, air quality is extremely poor, and similar in cities in our region. And so by able to kind of analyzing data in real time, you can respond by adapting vehicle movement patterns, for instance. And I think that's the critical thing. Thinking smart city will solve all the world's problems is not going to happen, but it can certainly enhance and augment a better quality of life for the citizens.
I absolutely enjoyed this discussion, Matthew, and I'm sure our audience enjoyed it as well. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today. It was great having you on the show. For those of you watching, feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more such videos with experts in the industry. That's all for now, and until next time, goodbye.